Chicago will be our next. Trump says Chicago, New York, San Francisco, crime crackdown incoming, and Democrats are calling him for help. And that's true. And the mainstream media is trying to pretend like crime is low and they try to pretend like things aren't bad in these big cities, and people that actually live in these big cities, people that actually live in these communities are asking Trump for help because their leaders, their politicians in these major left-leaning, left-controlled cities, they aren't doing anything about the crime. They're basically begging for help. And Trump said he's going to help. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to play some clips. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Gateway Pundit, and they report that President Trump on Friday signaled that he is not stopping his crackdown on crime in Washington, D.C., and told reporters that he plans to clean up Chicago, San Francisco, and potentially more Democratic cities across the country. President Trump has declared a public safety emergency in the nation's capital, citing high crime and unsafe streets, and he federalized the D.C. police force last week. He further authorized the use of National Guard troops and deployed federal agents across the city to tackle the rampant crime, homelessness, and illegal immigration crises. Hundreds of criminals have been removed from the streets, and crime has significantly reduced in the city. Law-abiding citizens can now walk around freely without fear of being attacked, robbed, or harassed by drugged-out bums. As the Gateway Pundit reported, Trump fired off a warning shot to Mayor Muriel Bowser during his Oval Office press conference on Friday, apparently threatening her removal. He also put other Democratic leaders in major cities, namely Chicago, New York, and San Francisco, on notice that he's coming to their town next. Let's play the clip. Here we go. Oh, sorry, I forgot about this commercial here. Here we go.
They told me there's no lazy way to make money. They lied.
Another one.
This system runs 100% on autopilot.
This will be one of the safest places anywhere on earth. So, I really am honored that the National Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police. And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with, and I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they are, including the people in this audience, they'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here, because half of them got mugged, and they don't want to get mugged again. But they're, they work for they work for stupid people that are radical left, and they're made to do things and say things that they don't want to be saying. But the people right here are all happy because you're not going to be mugged in Washington, D.C. anymore.
Trump is not playing. He is not playing. When the president was asked to clarify these remarks and whether he is already taking steps to fix Chicago or other cities, he told reporters that he hasn't spoken to incompetent Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, but when we're ready, we'll go in and we'll straighten out Chicago. He further stated that he's going to clean up San Francisco, where he owns a share of the 52-story Bank of America building at 555 California Street, invoking the memory of Bob Tisch, the late billionaire and owner of the New York Giants and Lowe's Corporation. Trump also said that some Democratic leaders have called him and asked him to help them in the crime crisis in their cities. When asked who these leaders were, Trump responded, "I'm not going to say because I don't want them to lose their elections." That's a shame. How has cleaning up your city, cleaning up, getting rid of crime, how that Democrats turn that into a bad thing? I don't understand. But let's get right to this next clip here. Sorry, I had to get through the commercials. All right, here's the clip. Here we go.
You said Chicago might be next. Are you making? Have there been concrete steps that the administration is taking to do that, or what are other cities? As well?
I haven't spoken to the mayor. He's grossly incompetent. I haven't spoken to the mayor. No. When we're ready, we'll go in and we'll straighten out Chicago, just like we did D.C. Chicago is very dangerous. Great place. I built great stuff there. I have the most beautiful building in Chicago, I think. But I hate to see what's happened to Chicago. Chicago is our greatest city, actually. Bob Tisch, a great friend of mine, passed away. He used to own the Giants and very successful Lowe's. He said Chicago, I think they had their main office in Chicago. He said Chicago and San Francisco are the two greatest cities in the world. Now you look at what the Democrats have done to San Francisco. They've destroyed it. I own a big chunk of the Bank of America building in San Francisco. And, you know, it's just different. We can clean that up too. We'll clean that one up too. You know, if everything works out, and we've already had calls from other cities, quiet calls from Democrats. We'd love you to come here because they've lost control of their cities. I'm not going to say because I don't want them to lose their elections. But we've had calls from Democrats and calls from people generally. We'd love you to come here because we'll straighten out the problem.
Facts. Trump will clean up the streets like he's doing in D.C. right now. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.